But I want to go across right now to Swara Bhasker. Swara Bhasker is alleging that in the seat that her husband was fighting in Anushakti Nagar, where he's lost to Sana Malik, the allegation is that there was some tampering with the EVMs, or the EVMs weren't working well. Swara Bhasker is now live with us. She was at a counting center just a moment ago when we connected. So Swara, can you explain the reasons behind you leveling this very serious charge?
Yeah, so we, as I think was reported in the media as well, and was on the Election Commission website, that Fahad has been leading in almost every round except maybe round 3 and 4 or 4 and 5. Barring that, he was leading right up to the 16th round. And even in the rounds where the margin of lead was reducing, the number of votes that both Sanaji and Fahad were getting were like about the same. From the 17th, in the last 3 rounds, which is 17, 18, and 19, this is not my allegation, Rahul. This is the allegation of the counting agents who were inside the booth, who towards the last round started basically questioning the fact that many of the EVMs that were actually most of the EVMs in those rounds were 99% charged. And and the question that they raised was that how can EVMs that have been used throughout the day on the day of polling be 99% charged? Like, how can they have barely been used? And those are the last 3 rounds, the EVMs. Those are the places where the pattern is quite unusual, right? So, I mean, you're an analyst. So where there is a pattern of a steady lead, and even where the lead is dropping or reducing, the number of votes polled for both candidates are almost the same. How can in the last 3 rounds suddenly, there be such a huge jump? So then, and then the EVM be 99% charged. So those were the 2 sort of things that they found fishy, the counting agents. And now I think that they have made a demand and an application for a recounting and a matching of VVPAT slips to the machines that have allegedly been.
So what have the agents you spoke to at the counting center, Swara, told you? Are they willing to consider these charges and investigate them?
So when I'm not there anymore, but at the last moment they were willing to first. They said they'll go step by step, that at first they will match the VVPAT slips to the machines upon which objections have been raised. And after that, if those slips are indeed found that there is a problem, then they will order a recounting of the last 3 rounds, or whichever rounds that are.
But Swara, the fact is, it can't be that one particular constituency, there's rigging, the neighboring constituency where the opposition wins, it's all very well. Somewhere, you're going to have to provide much better proof than what is done so far. And it casts a doubt. It makes you all look like sore losers, to be very honest. It can happen in elections. You lose some, you win some.
That's fair. No, I don't think that anybody will not accept the result if it seems that everything is in order. Look, our job is to be very, very vigilant. Our job as the people who are part of the election, and the job of everyone who is supporting us is to be very wary. And I think that if everything was so kosher, I'm sure that the Election Commission would not accept recounting a recount or matching the VVPATs. So if they're doing it, then they're doing their job.
You're saying they've assured you there'll be a recount and the VVPATs will be matched, is it?
No, they have assured us that they are going to match the VVPATs first.
Yeah, but you can ask for a recount. If you want, you can ask for a recount. That's what happened in Mumbai Northwest during the Lok Sabha.
We are asking for a recount, and there are rules within the EC's own guidelines that are supporting our claims. So we are using those rules. So there's nothing that we're demanding, Rajdeep, that is unreasonable. Don't worry.
I think that's reasonable. She's saying she'll accept the verdict regardless of what it is. And they want to be careful and sure there's nothing wrong with it.
I think there's a rule, correct me if I'm wrong, that if the margin is below a certain thing, you can ask for a complete matching of all VVPATs. It doesn't have to be. You can ask for a complete matching of all VVPATs.
But this charge that 17 rounds tended one way, 3 had a statistical...
That can happen. I'll give you an example.
It depends
Aditya Thackeray was trailing till round 15 by about 871 votes. He's eventually
but
won
it
by
can't be
8,000.
diametrically difficult.
No,
That's
he's won by 8,600. You see, it depends on which booths you get.
It depends which booths
you know,
you get.
that is the nature of politics. That argument I don't accept. The argument I think is fair is that when it is narrow, nothing wrong in matching all
No,
VVPATs.
and candidates and their families should be allowed to contest the verdict and have the
a
VVPATs
recount.
be counted, and even a rebound. There's nothing wrong. And she's saying she'll accept the verdict regardless. I think that's
classic
reasonable.
case of that
We
was
wish
in
you all the best,
Muzaffarnagar
Swara Bhasker.
Lok Sabha
Thank you for
Rajni.
joining us. Appreciate your time. Thanks. You know, it's just as well that you go through this motion, let the VVPATs be matched, so that then everybody has tasalli. In the absence of that, if there's no recount, no VVPATs are then it looks like dal mein kala. Let there be a recount. Let's see what comes of it.
ECI had also shown it as a one seat for NCP. Now they have moved it back to the lead. So they have put on hold, if you see the Election Commission website also.